So, verification for the FTMO. As you remember before, I passed the original challenge, making that 10% in the first hour, and now I've actually just finished my 10 trading days. So if I take you onto the FTMO, the metrics here, and as you can see, we've done the 10 trading days, and we have now passed the challenge. If you look here, we do actually have the certificate for the FTMO actually passing. And then we're down on the verification at the moment, around 2%, but it doesn't really matter. So if you look here on gold, we're actually already up £4,000 or $4,000. So the TP is actually down here at 1983. We need 100 more pips, and then the challenge is actually passed on this trade, I'm pretty sure, if my calculations are correct. But as you see, gold has been quite crazy. If we go on a higher time frame here, you can kind of see that we create this massive bullish push up, almost creating new all-time highs, to then just plummet down, you know, almost 800 pips pretty much within less than 24 hours, which is just absolutely mental. But you see down here, we do have a nice area to actually drop to. My stops are actually in profit, but we're going to move them down to 1% in profit now. So worst case scenario, we make 1% on this trade. Obviously best case scenario, we actually pass the challenge, and I think, how much do we make? We make £7,500, which I'm pretty sure will pass us to the verification. That's obviously the plan on this trade. We had a few, 2 losses, I'm pretty sure, and then one that hit break even, or 2 that hit break even actually, on gold, which was annoying. But yeah, that's what happens when you trade in London session. I didn't usually trade in London session, but I don't know why I did it against my rules. But you know, it is what it is. You can only learn and get better from making mistakes. So I guess we'll see what happens with this gold trade, but just thought I'd keep you guys updated. So yeah, 3,600 profit there. And if you see here as well, we have the profit as well, 3,300 now. But yeah, hopefully we drop down a bit further. And then 3,100, you see we're pulling back up a little bit here, 2,900. But yeah, we'll see what happens with gold. We're not even in New York session yet. We're coming into the end of London here. So yeah, gold is in a very interesting place, very interesting, because obviously we've had this massive bearish push to the downside, and I would look for that to maybe stop at this area, because there's not really any reason for price to stop here. If we go on a higher time frame, maybe you can kind of see that this area here was an area which kind of caused this push above 2,000. So this is kind of the area which we want to come down to. You know, if we look on the actual trading view here, we got this AU short as well, which is nice. But gold, if we go on higher time frames, you can see big imbalance here, which we're currently filling. Also, we've got this area here, which would be quite a nice area for price to come into, which is kind of where our TP is, which is absolutely perfect, you know. And also AU, geez, that's absolutely perfect. Should have got in on that one. I think I sent it to my premium group. But yeah, gold, 3,500 in profit. If we go down to the 5 minute, you can see that we entered on this slight pullback. We broke down below, and yeah, now we're just kind of seeing what gold does, seeing what it does, risk free. So I'll let you guys know what happens with this trade. You can probably see by the screen recording that we're up around 6,000, just under $6,000. There we go, lights, camera, action. So we're about to actually pass the challenge. We need like 10, 20 more pips ish. So hopefully, if I just move the camera so I can see, you see the equity is at 104,000. We need it at 105,000 to actually pass the verification. So hopefully we get this tiny another drop. If we move the stop loss to 2%, just in case something terrible happens and we go to the moon. But yeah, hopefully, here we go, 800 more, to then 750 more, 700 more. Come on gold, praise the gold gods for this. We need this tiny bit of a bigger drop. Oh no, what's happening? I'm only joking. Psychology is on point, you know. So I held through this all pullback. But yeah, we need a little bit more profit, about $1,900 more to actually pass the verification. So we'll see what can happen on this trade. Like I said, worst thing that can happen, we make 2%. So hopefully we're praying that it goes down to this certain level so we can actually pass the verification. If we look here, you can see, I didn't actually enter that one, but the all-time high is very, very close. And now we're absolutely plummeting down. And we entered like here on the lower time frames. But yeah, hopefully, come on gold. Give me this drop. Give us the drop which we need. That $1,000 more, 1,200 more now. But come on. Come on gold. Come on. $1,000. 900. 800. 700. 600. 500 more dollars. Come on. Come on, we're ready to close. Come on. We're just before New York as well, which is interesting. Oh, come on. Come on, gold. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? We need this drop. We're $500 away, which on the 3.33 lots is like, I don't know, 10 pips, 12 pips or something like that, because it's like $330 per pip. So you needed, yeah, about 2 pips. We needed 2 more pips-ish, something like that. Come on, here we go. Here is the drop. You're gonna see it live. $400 more. Come on. I know normally you shouldn't really trade the levels based off of money amounts, but because this is a challenge and you have to make that certain amount, I'm just going to close when we actually hit that 105,000 equity, because there's obviously no point holding longer, and we only have to get a tiny bit further as well. But yeah, gold is playing games with us, which obviously isn't ideal. We don't obviously want to pass as soon as possible, so then we can actually get the funded account, because I still got to do the 10 trading days for the verification, as well as the 10 trading days which I just did for the challenge. So 20 days to actually pass the FTMO. I remember I did the funny talent before, which I literally passed it, where you can pass in 2 days from actually starting, which is obviously quite good. But yeah, we're just going to sit back and hopefully gold comes down and hits the target which we're actually looking for. So yeah, I'm going to sit back, relax, I'll have a drink of water, you know. So let's see what happens. There we go. Now we're hydrated, ready for this. You know, look how close it is to the TP. And this is the 1 minute time frame too. So that's obviously more exaggerated. But you see here our sales before this massive candle. Come on, gold. You know you want to drop to my TP. Here we go, come on. Come on. It's playing games, it is playing games with me. How is AU doing? Nice little drop into profit, you know. Yeah, so our TP is actually at 1983.70. So if we draw it on here, you can actually see how close we are to passing. See, this is quite traumatizing, because if you remember, I did an FTMO video before and I was like 2 pips away from passing on one trade, and then it reversed and hit me out of break even. So I'm kind of traumatized from doing these challenges and having to close out at a certain price, because yeah, it isn't really the greatest. But you know, we're so close, $500 away. Come on. maybe if I don't look at the charts, then I'm tricking it into thinking I'm not looking, and then it will drop. So that's I'm gonna do a bit of reverse psychology on the gold market. So let's see what happens. It didn't work. It did not work in the slightest. Oh my god. Okay guys, this is actually taking too long, so I'm going to come back with an update with what happens with the gold chart, because we could be here for quite a while. Okay guys, so we're about to hit the TP. I haven't got my face cam on, but here we go. Hopefully we actually drop down to this target now. Look, we just bounced off of it again, this area. You see we've kind of been holding up in this area here, but I do want to see that just wick below. We can close out and then the market can go to the upside. That's all we want to see. Got the alert on my trading view for the first level. See, look, AU dropping down, plummeting. That's 2% in profit. This is about to just melt to 7% in profit, as you guys can probably see. Higher time frame again, you can see absolute melt. But yeah, here we go. Come on, gold. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And we're out. And the verification has been passed. First day on the verification, and we've passed it. First day on the challenge, we passed it. Now I'm going to set the camera up. I'm going to talk you through the trade. Okay guys, so I was actually just going to do my workout, but I'm just going to go explain how I actually passed this this FTMO, and just pretty much go through that, because obviously I just started the video when we're mid-trade and it's quite rushed in. So I'm going to explain what happened with this trade. So if I actually bring up the metrics now, so you can see here, this is the verification, started on 9th of March. The date is the 9th of March. So then we have this small 2% drawdown. You know, we had the exact same on the challenge. We had that 2% drawdown, which I do need to work on, because the first 2 trades or so I always seem to lose before I then go into profit. So I can add that to my journal, notice what's actually going wrong with the trades, the first ones that I take. Maybe it's just rushing in to try and pass with trades that aren't really part of the plan. But then as you see, when I actually get a proper trade, we make 7.3%. So risking 1%, because if you do the calculations, $100,000, 30 pip stop loss, that is a 3.33 lot size. And as you see, we made 7.3% because we did actually catch a lot of pips. Obviously, these trades were unfortunate. You know, we had an EU sell and a buy. This one actually hit break even, this one hit break even. Not really sure how this was minus 100, because as you see, my SL was below the price, but we did actually get, you know, 3 or 4 pips of slippage, which meant we had actually a loss on this trade. But yeah, as you see, it's pretty decent. You know, it took 5 trades, 2 break even, 2 losses and 1 win. And it just shows that with a 40% win rate, you can still make 5% profit. An average loss, less than 1%, average profit, very high, because obviously we had this small break even. But yeah, and if you look here, we passed. Just need those 10 trading days now. But I did say I'm going to film the verification, and I filmed it live. If we actually go onto the charts now, do you guys remember where I said price would actually bounce from? This level here. And look where we bounced from, this level here. And you know, we could have caught extra pips, but we didn't need to. We closed as soon as that equity hit 105,000, as you see here, equity. Remember I said it would wick below this level and come back up? That's exactly what we did. So, you know, what I'm expecting on gold now, we kind of hit this zone, but we also have a level below. We have this level at 1960, this wick, which was the New York, which was actually the London low. And as you see, there is peak volume in this area, which could be, you know, another target, but technically that volume has been taken. So we kind of got an interesting situation here on gold. We've got, you know, imbalance left here to the upside. We've got this big wick down below, which we could see get taken. So what we could see is a situation like this, you know, push up, and then a pull down to this area around 1960. But yeah, keep you guys updated on the channel with all the trades I take on this funded account journey. You know, I did it before. I did the funding talent, went through everything, all the trades live and everything, but this was proper live. You saw me close out and it was absolute perfection with my reaction as well. So yeah, let's see what gold can do. Let's see if my prediction is correct. You know, my prediction is like a move up to area like that and then a drop down to 1960. So let's see if that happens. You know, we could even come to this wick here, or yeah, you know, we've got this big imbalance area too. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens in this sort of area for gold. But yeah, on the account, we made our profit today, 5,260. And as you can see here, if it actually lets me click it, we've got the FTMO challenge, and it's FTMO server 2, which means it's verification. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Not 100%, but yeah, just wanted to keep you guys updated with this and show you the journey, how I actually trade it, and show you that you don't need 100% win rate to be a good trader. You don't need to enter 10 trades a day to be a good trader. You know, ideally I wouldn't have entered those first 2 trades because I think they're against my plan. I should have checked it. I don't usually trade in London session either, but yeah, it is what it is. It is something that you can actually learn from. My plan, I actually use a software called Edgewonk, so you guys can see here we've got all the different my different databases in here so this is for each account I actually have. So you see we were testing a 1 minute strategy, the 15k account, which you guys have seen on the channel. We made like a lot of money and we withdrew it all from the 15k account. We made like 5 grand or something like that, 4 or 5 grand, which is, you know, 30% profit, which is very, very good going. And we got 2022 trading, which is like my main account for the year, because I did actually switch brokers, and you know, I'm just trying out the best brokers, because obviously I want a regulated broker, but I want one with decent spreads. And a lot of the times the regulated, you know, the FCA ones don't actually have these really nice tight spreads, and you know, the FTMO ones have been quite dodgy as well. You see this is like three pips on gold. My normal broker, you know, I used to use Axie, which was very, very good. Switched to Admiral, regulated by the FCA. Spreads weren't very, very good. I was getting stopped out on trades. I wasn't getting tagged into my limits. So now I'm going to go back to Axie and use the regulated 1 to 30 leverage on there. But now we're trading FTMO. We got that 1 to 100. We don't have to worry about our own account balance because of the regulations, because it's not even our money. And once you get the refund, you know, it's pretty much happy days, because it's just free money at the end of the day. But yeah, so what I do is I add a database in here. So let's say it was the verification. And if we go on account currency, this was USD, because if you work it out, the USD, you actually make more money than the pound FTMO. Pound one, you get £70,000. If you do the conversion, it's actually £75,000 if you do the 100,000, we'd actually need to put that in, 100,000 account. So what we do is we go down here. What we do is we go on history, right click, save as report, then desktop, we save that statement, and as you see it comes up here. And then we go down to settings, to import, we have to change the type to MT4, and then let's not do the setup, I'll just leave it for the example. And then you go import, click here, you go on your desktop, you find the file, upload file, and now if you see what it does, see it's uploading the file and everything. Now we're just being patient, the camera's gonna die, we'll just quickly wrap this up, uploading file, and then if we go to the home and wait for it to do its thing, what we actually do, and there we go. So you see here, we've got that winning day because it's green, we've got the losses, we've got the wins, so you can see here, you can add all the data in, you can add your charts and have it all in this sort of like this bundle. You can add all your charts will actually show up in this bit here. You can add notes for each day of trading, and yeah, overall very, very good. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this video. There will be an update soon once we actually get the funded account and actually trade for the first few weeks or the first month. will be an update for that. But at the end of this video, we've passed the verification, we've passed the challenge, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.